I finally had the chance to see Tron Ares, and this is my review of the film. The movie is set in the Tron universe and is a sequel to both 1982's Tron and a very little bit of 2010's Tron Legacy. The movie is about a highly advanced program, Ares, who is sent from the digital world to the real world for a dangerous mission. But of course your big question is, what did I think about the movie? Let's start with the positives. First of all, the soundtrack by Nine Inch Nails slaps. It's an absolute banger. I didn't know Nine Inch Nails very well before this film, but it turns out they've been around since 1988 and have been making great bangers ever since. Although they're not as legendary as Daft Punk from Legacy, they were good replacements. Visually, it looked solid. But to be completely honest, I thought the CGI in Tron Legacy, which came out 15 years ago, was better. In any case, I think the CGI from the past, specifically the period from 2000 to 2019, is better than today's. Back then they really took their time with the visual effects, whereas today that seems to be less the case. And I'm not just talking about Tron Ares, but also other heavy CGI films. Even though we now have better technologies. Furthermore, some action scenes, such as the motorcycle chase, were fun to watch. It was also fun to see the world of Tron in our world. The story with AI in it also felt relevant in this day and age. Greta Lee's character surprised me. She was smart, strong, and not your typical needs-saving female character. Now on to the negative. Jared Leto as Ares just didn't work for me. He's emotionless from start to finish, even when his character is supposed to become more human at the end of the film. Based on the roles I've seen him in so far, I don't think he's a good actor. He can play a villain or a side character perfectly, but as the main character in a blockbuster like this, it's definitely not a good idea. I also thought Evan Peters, although a good actor, was wasted in his role. Gillian Anderson was good, but she had almost nothing to do in the film, and poor Cameron Monaghan blinked and he was gone. He was supposed to have had a bigger role in the original film. Justice for Cameron Monaghan in the comments, please. Jodie Turner Smith also played okay, but her character felt like a kind of emotionless Terminator, which has been done so often and better in other films. Her character didn't feel menacing or original. The story also felt generic. Where Legacy had heart, the emotional bond between father and son, Ares has none of that. Unfortunately, it really felt like a generic blockbuster to me. There were also some very nice callbacks, such as the appearance of the legendary Jeff Bridges and the classic 80s grid. Unfortunately, I did miss some callbacks to Tron Legacy. It felt more like a sequel to the 1980 version of Tron than to Legacy. The end of the film did have a nice callback to that film, but unfortunately, we will never get an answer to that. I give this movie a 5 out of 10. It's fun for fans of the first Tron movie, and it's the kind of movie that if you put your brain on 0%, you might have some fun with it. But if you loved Legacy, this might disappoint you. Watch the full review of Tron Ares now on my YouTube channel, where I go into more depth about what I liked and didn't like about this movie. Like and subscribe for more movie reviews. I would really appreciate it. And remember, this is just my opinion. What did you think of Tron Ares? Let me know in the comments. And as always, bye-bye.